Hello, my name is Caden. This is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. A lot of talk about shotguns lately, and I haven't really discussed shotguns in a while, but came across someone that I subscribe to, and he has all his facts correct, but I just don't correlate his conclusion that in his video, shotguns suck for home defense. And what we're going to be doing is going over some of his points, and some of them I have never talked about, so I want to illuminate that also. Now, when we're dealing with shotguns for home defense, there's going to be four types of home invasion scenarios. That mythical late night thing that you hear at night, that doesn't happen very often. Second one is that they're ringing the doorbell, and if you or a family member go to the door and you open the door and they flood you with quick and overwhelming force. The third one is they're trying to kick in a door or window. Fourth one is some kind of an outside scenario. You're doing your yard work. You're coming home from the ATM or having Christmas toys, and they followed you. You get to the garage and you open the garage and boom, they're there. Another caveat to that is that they're waiting for you outside the house, or they have gained entry in the house and waiting for you to come home. Those are going to be the four home invasion scenarios. The strength of a shotgun is going to be very simple. The shotgun is going to be used for defending a choke point, a static area where you're defending a hallway, a door frame, a staircase, where the bad guys have to funnel in. So you're not going over here and then having to go over here and then going over here. It's going to be boom, 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 okay? That's going to be the strength of the shotgun. Part of his argument was that they're big and long. Well, that's the beautiful thing about it, is that the sight radius is so long that you're going to have greater accuracy, and you have 4 points of contact. You're going to have two hands, a cheek, and a shoulder controlling that gun, compared to handgun when you're only going to have 2 points of contact. Well, I guess I'll finish that thought. One of his arguments saying that the shotgun sucks is because you need both hands on it. Well, you're not tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd opening and clearing rooms. We discussed in other videos why clearing rooms could put you in jail. Okay, if you're not a Castle Doctrine state, if you're not a stand your ground state, you tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd looking for that rabbit may put you into jail, because the prosecutor is going to say you are looking for the fight. So retreating, defending a choke point in a static position is something that is going to be something that you can do. Again, pistol with one hand. I've seen people 4 feet in the paintball scenario, literally 3-4 feet from each other and missing them, because the adrenaline is such an adrenaline rush. Your thumbs, your fingers are like toes. Use your toe and try to shoot a gun. It's going to be very difficult. So I don't prescribe to the fact that because you need to have 4 points on contact with a shotgun is going to be a disadvantage for you for that tool. The shotgun, Masabe Ayub, this is his thing, is a great auxiliary or artillery piece in congruent with a handgun. So it really depends on the tactics, and how you use the shotgun is going to be more important. One of the things that shotgun people don't like about shotguns, I should say, handgun people debunk shotguns on why they suck, is because people are going around the corners with them. Again, if you're not trained, you shouldn't be tromping around your home like Elmer Fudd looking for the rabbit. And people will say that you can grab it and then they'll have control of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, the fact of the matter is simple. I don't have one on me. This is about the same length as a 18-inch barrel going around the corner. Picture that I have a gun in here. People are going to be going around the corner. They're not going to be going around the corner like this. No, they're going to be pieing it off. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to be, if you don't know what you're doing with the handgun while you're tromping around the home like Elmer Fudd looking for the rabbit, you're going to have the same problems as people mythically with the shotgun. And even though that shotguns are easier to grab, a person can grab a semi-automatic just as easily, get it out of battery, and guess what? You have a 2.5 pound weight. As soon as it gets out of battery, boom, that's it. Magazine capacity. Magazine capacity is going to be, a disadvantage if you want to look at it as a disadvantage. When you're using a choke point, you're not going to need to have 14,000 rounds on you. If you also look at the statistics, using IWBA standards and shotgun gel testing from the FBI, DOJ, and all the live statistics of that has been out there. It basically says this: you are twice as likely to be taken out of the fight if you let me rephrase that. If you shoot somebody with a shotgun or a long rifle, you're twice as likely to take them out of the fight than using any hand caliber round. So basically, what that basically is saying is, for every one shotgun shot shell, it's going to be equaling 2 of the handgun shells. So if you do have an 8-shot shotgun, it's going to be the equivalent of having 16 rounds in a gun. And since you are defending a choke point and you are concealed, sorry for that interruption. So if you have a shotgun and you are defending a choke point in a static area, you are going to hopefully be behind some kind of concealment or cover, and that's going to allow you to tactical reload when available. So I don't prescribe to the myth that because a shotgun has 8 shells and then a handgun has 15, the shotgun sucks. Again, what are you using it for? The statistics with the DOJ, FBI using IWBA standards, I don't agree with that myth. Okay. Birdshot versus buckshot. I've been getting a lot of flack about this. Stupid argument. When you are invaded in your home, it's almost always going to be between 2 and 5 people storming your home with quick and overwhelming force. You need to take the person out of the fight. Birdshot, look at the ballistics gel. It doesn't penetrate deep enough to consistently take people out of the fight. When you are being stormed between 2 and 5 people storming your home with quick and overwhelming force, you need to have something that is going to take the person out of the fight. Birdshot, even though in a small confined area, still is going to be devastating, but the evidence is there. It doesn't get a deep enough penetration to guarantee the person being taken out of the fight quickly. Okay. Cross-loading or progressive loading. This is something that I thought was wonderful 20 years ago, where every time you think about the progressive loader, he's going to say, yeah, the first one can be a rubber bullet, a beanbag round. If that doesn't take the guy out of a fight, you can give him a 7.5 shot. And then if that doesn't work, you can escalate it, because at that time he goes behind a couch and you can escalate it to a number 4 buck. And if that doesn't happen, you can escalate it to a double aught. If that doesn't happen, you can escalate it to a scenario. Boy, everything has to be nice and precise. You see one guy, and the scenario always deals with one guy. Again, that's not what the statistics are. If you're going to be invaded your home, it's almost always going to be between 2 and 5 people. Not just that one guy where you hit with the beanbag and then he's unaffected. So you hit him again. At that point, he's hit, but he's not taken out of the fight because you're using birdshot. So he goes behind the couch. Now you need something to penetrate the couch, so you're using buck. Wow. Are you sure the perpetrator is going to do all those things nice and neat for you while you are cross-loading or progressive loading a shotgun? So the progressive loaders, that is something that just stay away with. Over-penetration. That's the main reason for birdshot versus buckshot, over-penetration. Again, when you are defending a choke point, when you're defending a static area, what you're actually doing, and this is Massad Ayoob, person that has great more respect than I will ever have, is that you know the direction to travel where that lead is going downrange. Okay, Massad Ayoob says if you have a weak point, you put up a bookshelf. So like my place in California, if I'm in the defending the bedroom, it's going to be about 30 feet from here to the bathroom. It's an open bathroom where I can see everything, and it goes through a shower stall, it goes through tile, it goes through cement board, it goes through studs, it goes through stucco, it goes through an exterior firewall, and then it will go, my next door neighbor at that angle is about 120 feet. Even though that each neighbor on either side of me is 15 feet, but I am shooting at a 45-degree angle where it has to go through all that stuff. Now, that is going to be more of what you should be looking at is direction of fire and what you're thinking about, instead of over penetration. So you should be concerned about over penetration, and that's why you need to think of direction of fire is more appropriate than birdshot, buckshot scenario. Pistol grips. This is one of my pet peeves. Pistol grips with a pistol grip only, forget about it. They're made for you, designed to be at the hip. You're not going to be shooting a pistol grip up here and then you're going to get slapped in the face. Forget pistol grip. They're not going to be accurate down here. And again, what prison guards used it in the 50s and 60s and the early 70s. They used it down here thinking that they can take out the prisoner's hips and then they wouldn't be able to walk. But what they were finding out is that the prisoners were still in the fight, and after a prisoner was down, they were still killing prison guards. So having a pistol grip shotgun down here just doesn't make sense. Now, the pistol grip and the stock combination, it really depends on your training. Having it on a Remington, in my mind, is not that big of a deal, because if there is some kind of malfunction, you'll be able to clear it quickly. But if it's on a Mossberg, it's a little bit more difficult, and you're going to need a little bit more training with that. If you are just the weekend kind of a person, I would strongly recommend staying away from any pistol grip, staying with the stock and training with that and just going from there. If you're a little bit elevated in your tactics or your training, I don't have a problem with a pistol grip and stock combination. Wrecking the slide. I don't have my shotgun here. I'm in Minnesota. It's still in California, and hopefully it'll be here in the next month or so. But using a noise to fend off somebody who's already in your house, and again, if you're dealing with a scenario that 2 to 5 people are in it, relying upon that is silly. Going into a fight with an unloaded gun is silly and asinine in so many different variables. And, you know, there have been police studies where they are going through an area, and when they're amped up and you get all this adrenaline dump, their hearing goes away. It's documented time and time again that you may feel that you can hear everything at night, but when your adrenaline is pumping and you hear that heartbeat in your ears, police don't hear everything. Do you think a drug addict, someone on bath salts, a dedicated individual, is going to be really saying, oh, time to go? 2 to 5 people storming your home with quick and overwhelming force? You need to be armed, okay? There is a myth out there. You need to aim. In general, and this is true for any an 18-inch barrel, 18 to 22-inch barrel, it's basically going to be the same, depends on your round, is that it will expand 1 inch for every yard, okay? So in most home scenarios, you are rarely going to be past, let's just say, 4 yards, okay? That's going to be 4 inches. That's going to be your spread. You are going to need to aim. One of the things is flash and noise, and that's not really talked about a lot. Part of the argument why this guy said that shotguns suck for home defense is that when you're in a dark environment, your eyes adjust to the night light, and then when you shoot it off, your eyesight is going to be ruined for several seconds. My argument to that is, why are you shooting at someone that you haven't identified? That is my biggest argument. And using light in the other room is something that you're going to have to be cognitive of. So you being in a totally dark room, and I'm not saying that you need to be all lit up. No, you need to be behind concealment or a cover, one of the two. But shooting in a dark room, not identifying that what you have shot, is silly. So to have the argument, because that happens, that shotguns suck for self-defense, I don't buy it. Noise is going to be a big thing. You ever shot a shotgun within 4 walls into a ceiling and a floor, and then it ricochets all over those walls? It's freaking loud. And that's why lately a lot of the schools have been recommending is that when you're in the static position, and if you have time, put some electronic ears on. Those electronic ears can hear a very long way, and that added hearing is going to give you advantage in the long run. Personally, me, if I put on the electronic ears, I can hear my cat eat food downstairs in the kitchen. So that is something that you're going to have to really take a look at. So overall, when we deal with it, I described the four general home invasion scenarios where the shotgun is most appropriate. They're not going to be appropriate for all of them, but when you're using a shotgun as an auxiliary piece, as an artillery piece, and when you are defending a choke point in a static position, like a door frame, a hallway, a staircase, that kind of thing, I think a shotgun is tactically a better tool for most people. I will also finish with this. Just because a tool may be tactically superior in your scenario, your training is going to be dictating whether it is good for you. If you are consciously competent with a handgun, but you are unconsciously incompetent with a shotgun, you better be going with a handgun. My name is Kate, and this is Castle Tutelage, your home defense network. I hope this helped.